Hey everyone, it's your boy Billy Boston, aka the Blue Eyed Demon, and I'm here to make a review video on the What If episode. I believe it's episode 3 we're up to now. And yeah, I'm just gonna dive in on my thoughts and my feelings. It was an amazing episode. But before I get into that, I wanna just say that where I'm making this video, it's very windy, and obviously that's out of my hands. It's not like I'm Storm and I can, control the weather. So hopefully that won't hinder this video, or if you can hear the wind, hopefully it's not annoying, because I'm not sure how to edit that out or anything. But yeah, I'm here to discuss the video, or the episode. So this episode was what if the world lost the Avengers? Like, if all the members of the Avengers team got killed before they actually officially formed a team and became the Avengers, which is an amazing thought to think of. So yeah, let's dive into this. So in this alternate reality, the way it starts off is kind of all right. So let me backtrack a second. So there's a thing amongst Marvel fans, MCU fans, that's called Fury's Big Week, because chronologically, in like real time of the MCU, Iron Man 1, Part 1, Part 2, the first Hulk, well, I guess it's the only Hulk movie, The Incredible Hulk, and Thor Part 1, and then I believe Captain America 1, only the part where they get him out of the ice. Obviously, the whole movie takes place in the 40s. It's a time period movie, but like that towards the end when they show them rescuing him from the ice from being frozen for like 70 plus years or whatever it is. That's all supposed to be, allegedly that's all supposed to be 1 week. And I think they even made that canon, but me, because I'm such a nitpick, that's actually not accurate, and I'll explain real quick. So Iron Man 1, 2. So Iron Man 1 takes place in late 2007, basically going into 2008. To make it easier, let's just say it takes place in 2008 at said time. I'm not sure. I want to say it's like maybe in the middle of the year or like the early part of the year. They don't specify, but it's definitely 2008. And then Part 2 is supposed to be like 3 months later, after Tony Stark makes that famous announcement where he's like, I am Iron Man, instead of like keeping a secret identity. That's supposed to be 3 months. So you got Iron Man 1, then the beginning of Iron Man 2. It's 3 months apart, but it's the beginning of... I'm not the beginning. It's still in 2008. And then the Hulk is supposed to be happening like simultaneously while the events of Iron Man 2 are happening. And then the end of Iron Man 2 is the beginning of the Thor movie, where it shows Agent Coulson in the New Mexico desert where they find Mjolnir when Odin casted it from Asgard, and it's landed in the middle of the desert. But they're not sure what it is. As far as they know, it's like an alien artifact or whatever. So, that's all supposed to be 2008, right? So keep that in your mind. That's 2008. Now, it's canon that the first Avengers movie is 2012. Well, when all of them, in that part where all of them are bickering amongst each other about Nick Fury lying about the real intentions of what SHIELD was using the Tesseract for. He said it was for unlimited energy, which I'm sure played a part or whatever, but they moved it into making weapons. And when they were explaining, like, well, why would you do that? He points to Thor and he says, because of him, because last year when he landed on Earth and the destroyer came later on, that showed us that that we're not ready for like that type of an attack, like an outside, like extraterrestrial attack. So if you think about it, if it's Nick Fury's big week and all those movies took place in a 1 week's time in the year 2008, and then it's canon that Avengers is 2012, then that would have made sense, Nick Cannon saying, well, last year, that would mean that the events of Thor did not happen in the same week of 2008, that they actually happened in 2011. So I think on paper, according to Disney, the big week is all those movies took place in 1 week in 2008. And I guess maybe we're supposed to kind of forget that Nick Fury said that and not do simple math. And like, it's whatever. But I just wanted to throw that out there, that I don't think the canon is accurate, but whatever. Please comment if you disagree or if you know more information than I, or if they retcon something and change the canon and I'm not aware of it. So to get back on point, so this episode in this alternate world is basically this alternate's version of Nick Fury's big week. And it starts off with the events of Iron Man 2, where Nick Fury is with Natasha, and they're going to that famous donut shop in Los Angeles, I believe it is, where Tony Stark is after he had his party, and he got drunk and fought with Rhodey. And Rhodey confiscated one of the suits and blah, blah, blah. I mean, hopefully we've all seen the movie. I don't need to explain all that. So they're going there to get him, and Natasha's talking about how she's not sure he's a good candidate for the Avengers Initiative. And they're talking blah, 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 and, and then if you saw the movie, Tony Stark, his arc reactor, which is keeping the shrapnel from entering his heart, whatever the material, because I'm not sure what it is off my head, that keeps that running, is actually poisoning him, and it looks like a weird, like, black veins going up his neck, and he's basically slowly dying. And in the original movie, Natasha hits him with a needle, and they give him a temporary cure, and then they tell him that if he goes and reads his father's research, that he can create a new element that's not on the periodic table and put it in his arc reactor and save his life, blah, blah, blah. Well, this time, because it's an alternate reality, when Natasha hits him with the needle, he dies. And they're like, oh my God, what? That was supposed to help him, not kill him. And so they actually arrest Natasha, and she's, at this point in time, accused of killing Tony Stark. And as they're bringing her to the paddy wagon, she's handcuffed, and she's talking to Nick Fury, because he's the one bringing her to the paddy wagon. And she's saying, I didn't do this, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, I know. I think it's like an inside job. I think we have like someone within SHIELD framing you and trying to stop the Avengers from happening and kill Tony. So he basically like tells her to like, he trusts her to like get to the bottom of it. So I'm just gonna kind of like speed through this. So then they pan back to where they're in the New Mexico desert where Mjolnir is and the big crater, and they're running tests on it, and they're like, yeah, it's definitely extraterrestrial. The energies that's coming off of this artifact or off the meter, blah, blah, blah. And then just like in the Thor movie, you have Hawkeye monitoring and playing security around Mjolnir. And then it shows Thor, like in the original movie, breaking into that base, and he's taking out all the guards, all incognito, spy-like. And then and then he gets to the crater, and he's about to touch the hammer. And Hawkeye cocks back his arrow, and he's like, "I got him in my sights, sir. Do you want me to hit him?" And he's talking to Nick Fury on a comm. And Nick Fury's like, "No. Wait a second. Let's see what happens. Let's see where this goes. How this is gonna pan out. I'm real curious on what's going on here." And as Thor's grabbing the hammer, about to lift it, like he does he didn't lift it in the movie because he wasn't worthy. But anyways, in this episode, he's grabbing the hammer, about to lift it, and it shows like a lightning bolt because it's like during a rainstorm. And as the lightning flashes, you see Hawkeye letting an arrow go, and it hits Thor, and he actually kills him. And they're like, "Dude, I told you not to let off a shot. Why? What are you doing? Blah blah blah." And he's like, "It wasn't me. I didn't shoot him." And they're looking at the arrow. It's his arrow. They just watched him discharge it from his bow. And they're like, "Dude, yeah, you did." And so now he's in a holding cell. And, Nick Fury's talking to Agent Coulson. He's like, "Dude, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know who that intruder was. But according to the autopsy report, he's thousands of years old, and his DNA is not necessarily human." And so then Nick Fury's like, "Well, is Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, is he talking?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's saying he didn't do it." And Nick Fury's like, "Well, let me go in there. I'll get some answers. He'll talk to me." So he goes into the cell, and Clint's looking kind of like, "Oh," and he's like, "Dude, wake up." And when he touches him, now Hawkeye's dead. And they're like, "Dude, what is going on?" Now, at this point, I was like, in my head as I'm watching it in real time, I was like, "All right, guys." Not guys. I was like,